This is a really cool charger. This is not just your usual home charger that you can just plug and charge. No, this can also be your business charger. This fits perfectly into a commercial environment as well. You have options using the KHONS RFID card or using the KHONS app. This particular one here is the US or North American version of this charger. So it does come with a NEMA 1450 plug for power supply, and it comes with the Type 1, the J1772, that is kind of the usual standard except for Teslas that have the NACS plug. But for a Tesla, you just use the Tesla adapter that comes with every Tesla, and you can use this same charger. This charger does work with every EV out there on the market that has a J1772 plug. And so obviously with the NEMA 1450, this indicates it's a 240 volt, so it is a level 2 charger. In an emergency, you could have somebody, an electrician, make you an adapter for this, go to a 120 volt outlet, and it would actually work on 120 volts as well, but that's not really a thing we usually consider because we want to get the full 40 amps out of this one. And the amperage is actually adjustable if you control it via the app. And the 40 amps relates to basically 10 kilowatts. So we're in the 10 kilowatt charge range with this here. You can access the charger via Bluetooth to program it, but you also set it up with your Wi-Fi. So if you use the app, you can control it from anywhere. As you can see, our charger is installed outdoors and it's perfectly rated for this. It's an IP65, so it can be outside in the rain. That's not a problem for it. Obviously, you don't want to submerge it in water, but yes, it's working fine indoors and outdoors. It has all the protections a charger could ever need. It has overvoltage, undervoltage, overload, short circuit, leakage, overtemp, lightning protection, and ground protection, and it is UV resistant, which is kind of important when it is outdoors. So we got all the cool stuff here. The cord on it is 25 feet long, the cord going to the J1772. So that is really cool because if you use this in like a 2-car garage, depending on where the charger is placed, you pretty much can use it for either or car. It will reach almost anywhere in the garage if the charger is properly placed. The charger does come with all the manuals you need. This is the charger manual itself. There's a manual on how to program it via the app. It comes with 3 RFID cards. It comes with templates for installation of the charger bracket as well as for the cord bracket here. And the cord bracket also can have this holster on it for the J1772 right there, or you could actually install this holster somewhere else if you wanted to. So this is attached to the bracket there with 4 separate screws. Also, you get a 2-year warranty with this, and then if you scan this barcode or this QR code right here, you get an additional 12 months of warranty. They have North American support. You can email or you can call, and I tried it out. It works. They respond. So it is quick. They got good support. So pretty good charger overall, I think. It functions very well. We had this for a few weeks now. Tested it with the different functions. So with the plug and charge, obviously no problem. It will go up to 40 amps in the plug and charge, okay? So as long as you're plugged into a NEMA 1450 that is properly wired and laid out as it's supposed to be with a 50 amp circuit and a 50 amp breaker, you just plug in and you go. So you can install this real easy yourself. If for some reason you may have a 50 amp circuit with multiple outlets on it, which sometimes happens in a workshop or a garage, then you would need the app to go in, because in there you can actually, via a slider, adjust the amperage that the charger is supposed to put out, so that you could potentially run 2 chargers in that same garage on the same circuit, or you could have something else plugged in at the same time. So really cool there. In order to program this unit, you need to put in program mode. And it's a little tricky, but the manual in here explains it pretty well. And the one confusing part about this is here on the side, on the back actually, we have an emergency shut-off, a red button there. And during programming, that is actually pushed in as the unit would be off. So this emergency shut-off does stop the charging, but does not completely power the charger off. So this has to be in during programming. You got to follow the instructions in here. And there's 2 things you have to do. You have to allow this access to your Bluetooth on the phone, as well as you got to program it to your Wi-Fi. If you program it to the Wi-Fi, there is one little thing. This is a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So you got to program it while your phone is on the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Most modern routers have a 5 and a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and usually your phone is on the 5 gigahertz. So make sure you go into your phone setting, switch that over to the 2.4, so that the charger and your phone are on the same network in order to make the pairing to your Wi-Fi possible. Once you pair this to your Wi-Fi, you can access it via the app if you program it to use with the app. And again, you do that on your phone in the app. It's pretty simple. You just choose the app function, it will convert it, you take it out of program mode, and then you can access it via app. If you want to switch it to the RFID cards, that's another possibility. Again, you access the unit, you put the unit in program mode, you access it via the app, and you switch it to RFID card. As simple as that. Then you take it out of program mode after it's done, and you just use the RFID cards to start and stop the charging by basically just going there, and that will activate it. And then when you're done charging, or the next morning, whenever, you make sure you turn it off with the card and unplug it, and off you go. There's a little itty-bitty trick, if you want to call that a trick. It's a little bit weird, but if you do not turn it off with the card, and the same thing with the app, if you use the app and you start charging in the app, you need to stop charging in the app as well, just like you use the card to stop the charging. It's not unsafe to basically just press the trigger here and pull the gun, as always. That will do the trick. It will stop charging. It's not unsafe. But the charger will still be enabled for charging. So if you just stop it here and then you drive away, the next guy can pull up, plug in, and it will charge. So make sure if you're using the RFID cards or your app to control the charger, that you do stop the charging either with your RFID card right here, or you go into the app and press stop charging, and then you unplug. And if somebody else pulls up and wants to plug in, they can't charge. Nothing happens, because you have to authorize it either with the card or via the app, which makes it really convenient, because if you have somebody coming over, you're not home yet, they say, hey, can I use your charger? Then you say, sure. Go ahead and plug in, and I'll start the charger. You just bring out the app, hit start, and off you go. Or if you use this for a small business and you have a couple cars, you have a couple EVs, you just have each car with a card, RFID card, and whoever pulls up and needs to charge, they can just activate it with the RFID card. So this particular charger has the LED light bar here that indicates what it's doing. Obviously red is usually bad, and then green blinking is the usual charging. So, and this all functions wonderful. It comes with an app for an Android and an iOS. And I'm an iOS user. I have an iPhone, and I found a problem, and I contacted the company, and they're working on it. So at the time of recording here, we are mid-June 2023. It has not been fixed yet, but hopefully by the time you get it, the iOS app has been fixed to work properly as well. The problem with it is that when you use the app function here and you use the slider in the app to adjust the amperage, I couldn't adjust it most of the time. Once in a while it would slide on the slider. Most of the time it wouldn't. But then you confirm and it goes out and it stays on whatever you set it to, let's say 16 amps. And then next time around you want to go back in and bring it back up to 40. You can't. It only goes to 32. Okay? The slider only goes to 32 on the iOS. On the Android, I tested it with an Android phone. It functions fine. It goes all the way up. So that's a little itty-bitty thing there. And so hopefully by the time you get a charger, this is fixed in the app as well. Also, if you just go into the iOS app there where the slider is, and even if you don't adjust anything, if you hit confirm, it will switch it to 32 amps, okay? So if that happens, contact the company and tell them, hey, where is that app update? This app update is needed for iOS, okay? If you go into that slider on your iPhone and you hit cancel, it will stay at 40. So no problem there. And if you accidentally do it with your iPhone and you're locked on 32, if you can get an Android and pair your Android with the charger, then in the Android you can set it higher. Also, a funny thing is in the Android app it shows actually this white charger. In the iOS app it shows a black charger with a display on it. Another weird thing there, they said they will fix it. And then there's one little issue in both apps, and you can actually read the kilowatts in both apps, okay, that it puts out. But since this charger can work anywhere around the world, so you can get it with different plugs, it will work in Europe as well. It can also work on 3-phase, and so the app actually shows the 3 phases. And for some unknown reason, for me at least unknown, when it shows the total kilowatts at the top, it shows 3 times as much if you're just plugged into this NEMA 1450. So that said, if I would charge at 7 kilowatts, let's say, it would show 21 kilowatts in the total for some reason, even though that is basically impossible because it's a 10 kilowatt charger. If you can slide down lower and you can see the kilowatts. It does show the amps correctly, so that is a good thing. You can just see the amps if you need to. And like I said, you can start and stop it from the app. You can start and stop it with the card. And it overall functions good. It has functioned fine for us here with charging our Tesla. Overall, we didn't have any issues. We used some of the delay functions in here that seem to work everything. It works with the adapter. So overall, not bad. The gun itself is the usual standard gun. Nothing special about it. Comes with a rubber cap that you can put on in case you just kind of hang it like this. That's another possibility. You don't have to use this here. You can leave this off the bracket if you want to. You could use a different bracket too. The cord itself feels good, and it feels like a cord that doesn't get too stiff when it gets cold out, so this should work in colder climates as well. Also, it's not super thick, and so it's easy to actually just uncoil and plug in and then coil it back up right here. So overall, a pretty good charger. Currently, I believe this charger, I looked it up real quick on Amazon, it is at $340, but I believe right now, as of today, when we're filming this, there was a 12% discount, so it's like $299, which is not bad at all. For under $300, you get a unit that you can use at home as a regular 40 amp charger. That's a good price for that. but since it has the RFID capability, it really makes it good for a business. Like if you have a delivery business and you got a couple delivery cars, you can throw a RFID card in each car, and the driver comes back, they can just activate the charger, easy like that. Makes it super easy. So this is really a good unit, not just for home, but for also for a business. And either way, if you use it for home or for the business, you can use the app, so you can activate it from anywhere you want to. In case you left the car and you plugged it in, but you didn't start charging or whatever, you can just use the app to start charging, or if you want to stop charging for some reason, if you want to if somebody else wants to access your charger and they call you, you can just start the charging for them. So I think this is a pretty darn good unit for the price, under $300 right now on Amazon. Like I said, they make different models. They make other chargers as well. I believe the same model you can get with a configuration different, with a different plug on here for Europe. Yeah, so we've been happy with this. We have, like I said, we used it several weeks. We charged our 2018 Model 3 with this, as well as our 2013 Model S, and we done that flawless, basically. It worked pretty good, except for the little thing with the iOS app, since we use iPhones. But that said, how often do you need to adjust the amperage? I mean, commonly you would probably leave this at 40 amps. If your car charges at less than 40 amps, the car will just draw less. You don't need to adjust it. You only would have to adjust it if your outlet cannot provide 50 amps. But in general, if you have a 50 amp outlet, the NEMA 1450, then it can provide 50 amps. So it can easily charge at continuous 40 amps, so that should never even be an issue. But when I test stuff here, I kind of test everything and find all the little problems, and contact the manufacturer and see what they have to say. And like I said, I was very happy with K.H.O.N.S, how they responded, how quickly they responded, and how their answers were. And they quickly adapt. So I think this is definitely a good deal here, and I would say I can recommend this charger. If you do like this charger and you want to get more information on it, look down below in the description. There's a link to it. You can go check it out. Like I said, they also offer other chargers. So, but this one is definitely a good buy, especially at this point under $300. So great deal right now. Go check that out. But also, give us a thumbs up for this video. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the future videos. And hey, go look at our channel. If you're new to this channel, go look at our channel and look at all the other videos we have. We have tons of videos with this car, with our Model S, with the Chevy Bolt, with the Chevy Bolt EUV. We got a whole bunch of different stuff, lots of road trip stuff, wintertime driving, summertime driving. Yeah, go check that out, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.